May can be a very busy time for gardeners, particularly if you have a greenhouse. If you have a greenhouse, you should be reaping the rewards of your hard work. All your little seedlings should be popping up and growing on. This is an ideal time to be potting them on, and then when the risk of frost is over, you can be planting them outside. Don't get carried away to put things out too early in May, because there are frosts towards the end of May some years. Remember, most of your bedding plants are tender annuals, so cold nights does not do them any good, and you want them to be able to survive through the summer. If you have a greenhouse, you'll have grown lots of tomato plants, which you should be pricking out now into individual pots. If the weather is good, these will have grown quite quickly and be getting quite tall, so you'll be able to start pinching out the side shoots. I grow lots of tomatoes at the nursery. Some of the old favourites are the best, such as Gardener's Delight, which is a lovely red cherry. This has won the Royal Horticultural Society Merit Award. It's a very good variety. Shirley, Alicante, Elsie Craig are also good, what I call the usual red tomato, a normal size. But if you want something a little bit different, you could go for San Marzano, which is a red cooker. It is a plum tomato. It does not taste very nice unless you cook it, but once you cook it, it's absolutely delicious in a tomato sauce. Vanessa is a new tomato on the market. It's been around a few years. I've been growing it for 2 years now. It's an F1 variety, and that's performing very well. I'm very pleased with it. If you don't have a greenhouse, you can grow tomatoes outside, but don't put them out until the end of May, after the risk of frost is over. Also, if you find you have a very small garden, some tomatoes can be grown in hanging baskets, such as tumbler or garden pearl. Plant them in best quality compost with water retaining gel and slow release fertiliser, and then throughout the growing season make sure you water them regularly. If you just like to pick a few cherry tomatoes off a plant, Totem is one of the best tomatoes for this. It's a very stocky little variety and will grow in a pot just at the back door. Totem provides red cherry tomatoes. Complementary planting is very fashionable these days. So with your tomatoes, you can plant tagetes, which is very similar to a marigold. It has yellow flowers, it looks pretty, but it wards off pests such as green fly. As far as grow your own, you can be sowing runner beans and sweet corn inside now for putting out at the end of May. Directly into the ground, you can sow parsley, chives, carrots, spinach and leaf beet outside now, because these are a little bit hardier than your runner beans and your sweet corn. The best thing to do with tulips and daffodils after they've finished flowering is liquid feed them so the nutrients can go back into the bulb for next year. You can pinch off the flowers if you wish to stop them seeding, but I recommend just leaving them. The clematis that are in flower at the moment or just finishing are Clematis montana, which is one of the earlier flowering varieties. You leave this until it's finished flowering and then you can prune it back. Don't prune it back too hard, never more than by 1/3 of the plant each year. You notice that your fruit trees are in blossom at the moment. Just be careful if there's a late frost, because you'll need to fleece these so they can pollinate to produce apples later on in the season.